Hi, hello, welcome to our channel Chemistry Era. This is Anil. In the previous video, we learnt about Rutherford model of atom. Today, in this video, we will discuss about drawbacks of Rutherford model of atom. Before going to learn about drawbacks of Rutherford model of atom, let us try to understand a simple activity which we are going to which we can perform in our home itself. Suppose there is a still water is there in a bucket or a jug. Now let us try to drop a stone in it. What happens? You can observe certain waves in it. In the same way, if you take a drum, try to beat it, what happens? You can observe certain sound waves. In the same way, if you take a charged particle, what do you mean by a charged particle? A particle that may be having positive charge, a particle that may be having a negative charge. I think all of you know the charged particle having positive charge is called as a proton, and the particle having negative charge is called as a electron. When a charged particle is accelerated means when a force is applied, external force is applied, it is observed that an electric field is produced. I repeat, when a charged particle is accelerated, that means when an external force is applied on this charged particle, an electric field is produced. This alternating electric field creates a alternating magnetic field. See what happened? When a charged particle is accelerated, it produces a alternating electric field. This alternating electric field creates a alternating magnetic field. You may have a doubt, sir, how a alternating electric field creates a alternating magnetic field? A simple activity that you have already performed in your lower classes. See, if you take a small iron rod or a nail, surround it with the help of a copper wire. Surround this iron rod or a nail with the help of a copper wire. Now insert the two ends to the current. Now if you, after some time, if you place a small nails towards it, what happens? All the nails gets attracted towards this iron rod. That means when an electric field is applied onto a iron rod, it converts into magnetic field, which clearly says that when an alternating electric field automatically creates a alternative magnetic field. This alternative electric and magnetic field creates a wave. That wave is called as a electromagnetic wave. So I will conclude once again. When a charged particle is accelerated, it creates an alternative electric field. This alternative electric field creates an alternative magnetic field. Because of this alternative electric and magnetic field, a new wave is created, which is called as a electromagnetic wave. This electromagnetic wave propagates with the speed of light. I think all of you aware, a light propagates with a speed of 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Sorry, 3 into 10 power 8 centimeters per second or 3 into 10 power 10 meter per second. With the same speed, this electromagnetic wave will be propagating. Every electromagnetic wave is possessing certain characteristics which are called as characteristics of electromagnetic wave. There are so many characteristics are there, like amplitude, frequency, wavelength, wave number and all others. We are not going to discuss all those properties, but we are concerned with a few properties of this electromagnetic wave. What are those? Let us try to understand here. This electromagnetic wave is having characteristics same as that of all other waves like light wave, sound wave and all others. Now let us try to understand the important characteristics of electromagnetic wave. The first one is wave length. Wavelength is simply defined as the distance between two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs. I repeat, the distance between two consecutive crests, these are called as crests, and two consecutive troughs is called as a wavelength. Wavelength is indicated by letter lambda. Wavelength is indicated by letter lambda. Next, let us try to understand another important characteristic of electromagnetic wave, that is frequency. Frequency is defined as a number of waves generated in unit time. Number of waves generated in unit time is called as a frequency. Frequency is equal to nu. Next, we are going to learn another important characteristic of electromagnetic wave, that is speed. Speed is defined as a distance travelled by electromagnetic wave in unit time. Distance travelled by electromagnetic wave in unit time is called as speed. Speed is equal to c. There exists a relation between wavelength, frequency and speed, which we can write as nu proportional to 1 by lambda. See here, which clearly indicates that frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other, which means with increase in the frequency, wavelength decreases, or when frequency decreases, wavelength increases. Frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other. In order to remove the proportionality, I am putting a constant c. So we can rewrite the equation as nu is equal to c by lambda. Very, very important relation. Nu is equal to c by lambda. This relation is not only applicable for electromagnetic waves, this relation is applicable to all waves like sound waves, light waves and all other waves. This is what about electromagnetic wave. Next, this electromagnetic wave consists of waves of different frequencies and waves of different wavelengths. The combination of electromagnetic waves of different wavelengths and different frequencies is called as electromagnetic spectrum. So, electromagnetic spectrum is defined as a combination of electromagnetic waves of different frequencies and different wavelengths is called as electromagnetic spectrum. See this electromagnetic spectrum. This electromagnetic spectrum starts with cosmic rays and ends with the broadcasting waves. Here, if you observe this spectrum, this 10 power minus 12 is the frequency. These cosmic rays belongs to higher frequency waves, whereas broadcasting waves belongs to lower frequency waves. In this only, we are able to see the 7 colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. When you are moving from left to the right, the wavelength values are gradually increasing. That's why if you see the red color, it immediately focuses into our eye, because red color is having a longer wavelength. That means our human eye is able to observe only few colors. Those combination of few colors is called as a visible spectrum. So visible spectrum consists of lights of colors violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. In this, when you are moving from left to the right, the wavelength values gradually increases. Violet is having lower wavelength, that is about 400 nanometer, whereas red is having higher wavelength, that is having 700 nanometer. Why we are discussing about this electromagnetic spectrum and all this? Let us try to understand a simple concept. I think so many of you have seen heating a iron rod. Can you tell me what is the initial color when you observe the heating of iron rod? Obviously, first you will observe the red color. Then when you go on heating, you will observe the orange. Then you will observe the yellow. Then you will observe the green and so on. That means when you go on heating it, does it having the same color? No. When you go on heating a iron rod, you will observe that there is a change in the colors, which clearly indicates that upon heating, that means when external force is applied on an electric field, it does not emit only single color. That means it does not emit radiation of having only particular frequency. From this, scientists clearly understand that energy does not propagate in continuous manner. What I am saying? Energy does not propagate in continuous manner. Based on this concept of heating of iron rod, the great scientist Planck had come up with a new theory which is called as Planck's quantum theory. Let us try to understand Planck's quantum theory. Before going to understand this Planck's quantum theory, Sir Rutherford said that electron is revolving around the nucleus in a circular path continuously. See, electron is a charged particle. When it is revolving around the nucleus continuously, it has to emit energy. When it has to emit energy, what happens? After some time, it loses its energy and it has to fall into the nucleus. Secondly, when it is emitting energy, it has to emit light of only one color. But when you are heating an iron rod, you are not getting only one color, which clearly indicates that Rutherford model of atom is wrong. So I think you got the answer why Rutherford model of atom is wrong. Rutherford model of atom is saying that electron is revolving around the nucleus in continuous manner. When electron is revolving around the nucleus in continuous manner, as electron is a charged particle, it has to emit energy continuously. When it has to emit energy continuously, it has to emit only single color light, which was not happening actually. When you heat the iron rod, you are not getting only single color, you are getting various colors, which clearly says that Rutherford model of atom is partially correct. Some case it is wrong. In order to overcome the drawbacks in Rutherford model of atom, Sir Planck had come up with a new theory which is called as Planck's quantum theory. According to Planck's quantum theory, energy does not emit in continuous manner. I repeat, energy does not emit in continuous manner, but energy propagates or energy transmit in the form of small pockets. I repeat, energy propagates in the form of small pockets. These small pockets of energy are called as quantas. I repeat, energy does not propagate in continuous manner. energy propagates in discontinuous manner in the form of small pockets which are called as quantas. According to Planck's quantum theory, energy of each quanta is directly proportional to its frequency, E proportional to nu, which says that with increase in the energy of the quanta, its frequency also increases as they are directly proportional to each other. With a decrease in the energy of the quanta, frequency also decreases. In order to remove the proportionality, I am keeping a constant E is equal to h nu, where h is called as a Planck's constant, which is very, very important. Planck's constant, whose value is 6.626 into 10 power minus 27 nth second, or 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. Based on this Planck's quantum theory, a new theory was come up which is called as Bohr's model of atom. In our next video, we will learn about Bohr's model of atom. I hope you have understand the concept of Planck's quantum theory and electromagnetic spectrum. If you have any doubts regarding this concept, please ask in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel Chemistry Era. Thank you very much for watching.